As mayor, I'll call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donna, if you would call the roll.
Murder. Riley. Schneider. Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Lucas. Here.
Non-agenda items from the sidelines. I did not receive any. City administration, Don? Mark?
Our flag over in our downtown park, there's a tree right next to it. And especially when at half mast and it gets tangled in it and rips the flag and things. I believe when that tree was planted, we were told it was only going to get 6 feet tall. It's as tall as a flagpole. Summertime you can't even see the flag heading eastbound. I'd like permission to remove that tree.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to, you're right, it wasn't supposed to be a big tree, was it?
Is that fertile Memphis soil? Anybody have any questions?
No,
Do we need a motion? We don't, right?
well,
I just plan to take it down.
Yeah,
Hire
I
anybody
would-
to take it down and just do it now.
yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling with the flag there, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I just have a problem with that.
So that way we get notice it when somebody's out there.
If you'd like to see
The
pictures of
trees
that,
down.
I got a picture or two of.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
Not tonight.
Chief?
Real quick, just wanted to brag a little bit about 2018 since it's our first meeting in 2019. In the year 2018, we were hired 2 officers, one in April, Bruce, and one as a school officer after Terry retired. We have not increased our manning, but we have increased our hours. We had 930 calls for service last year in 2018. Approximately 200 of those were reports because the 930, those are traffic stops. Those are things that we don't necessarily do reports. We made 27 arrests. 9 of them were felonies, 18 of them misdemeanors. And through cost recovery, through drunk driving, we were able to recover $2,200. We got our new vests, we got new cars, we had the older car restriped. And we successfully, with the mayor, were able to negotiate a new 3-year contract with the officers without any problems. I think everything's going good. That's about it. I just wanted to say everything's kind of, I've gotten my year and a couple months in, so now I'm getting very comfortable in the city. So, thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Great.
Kate?
Yeah, there's been some rumors that I had resigned as Parks and Rec's Activities Director. I had a discussion with Eric and was considering the possibility, and at that time I had a lot going on. And I'm not stepping down as the Activities Director. It is in my best interest that all the events be hold up at the youth center due to conflicts with the Lions president and myself. We need to come up with some solution. I've submitted dates to them and I have gotten no response back for that. Parks and Rec does have a room in there that we secure, plus there's a metal cabinet in the kitchen that belongs to me that I have let the Parks and Rec use. I feel that I need access to the building at any time because I need to get into that room at any time, plus that cabinet. These matters have to be addressed before we can use the hall as far as that goes. And for me, I'd like to have one of the council members, I could turn in the dates to them, and I'd like it to be a council member that's not on the Lions, because I think that's a conflict of interest. This way, it covers everything for all that. But I've got everything on hold until then. We get this cleared up. The jam is still going on, the open jam. We're holding that at one of the guys' house right now. He wanted to keep it going, I wanted to keep it going, the other guys wanted to keep it going. So we're meeting in his pole barn. temporarily.
Okay,
Okay?
that's it? Thank you. Adoption of member of the agenda, do we have anything to add? If not, now I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Support.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas. Yes. Martyr.
Yes.
Hopefully you've all had a chance to look over the meeting minutes from December the 19th and the special meeting of the 27th. Was there any questions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes of December 18th. and the
Okay,
special
just wait,
meeting.
the dates aren't the same on here, just regular meeting on December 18th on the agenda and the 19th. on-
Yeah.
So is it the 18th or is it the 19th?
We don't have a calendar.
I don't have my phone.
One was 2 weeks ago.
Or the December calendar?
That's the old calendar?
Was it a,
Oh, this is
We
the,
will fix it.
okay, all right. Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley.
Yes. Presentation and approval of December disbursements report of $139,218.88 and electronic wire transfers of $8,753.61. Anybody have any questions?
I'll make a motion to accept disbursements and transfers for set amounts.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes. Communications none received, unfinished business, adoption of ordinance number 204, use of tobacco or nicotine products on school property. We introduced this at our last council meeting. It's now time to adopt it. Any other questions on this?
We'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance 204.
Support.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Okay. New business, introduction to ordinance number 205, prohibiting marijuana establishment in the city of Memphis.
I'd like to make just a, well, maybe it's a little more than brief, but just, I have it all written down, and I'd just like to go over this, and then we can open up for discussion. I'm maybe the police chief has something to say on it, I don't know if I don't cover everything. Okay, ordinance number 205. Memphis passed Memphis passed a regulation marijuana proposal 1 by 56%, and that was somewhat in line with the state. 2, currently, regardless of approval of proposal 1, many municipalities have opted out. Colorado and other state, 75% opt out. 3, Michigan excise tax of 10% is at the low end of all states that approve recreational use of marijuana. Washington and Colorado were at 30% and 37%. And revenue is number 4. Revenue would come from 2 sources. Annual license fee not to exceed $5,000 and prorated share of excise tax. And how the prorated share is allocated is not very clear. Smaller communities could be very little. And I have some reasons here that are concerns. A, federal law issue, illegal under the federal law. B, costs might outweigh fees and tax sharing. From an article written by MML, most communities are likely not to see substantial revenue from the tax provided for the statute. For many municipalities, the amount may not justify the increased cost. E, or C, I should say, loss of control. The language is not as clear as it could be on the state obligation to deny a license if the applicant does not meet the requirements of a local ordinance. Once an ordinance is drafted to allow a particular use, the language of the state has to follow it, and it could result and the municipalities in court seeking to enforce the ordinance. D, nuisance and safety issues. 6, our advisory committee meeting. The advisory committee did not reach a consensus on the proposal, therefore not making a recommendation. My conclusions. I know not all council members are in agreement on this issue, and they are entitled to their opinion. I have listed some of the issues for your consideration. There is too much uncertainty in the proposal as written. The state is expected to have regulations in place by 2020. Ordinance 205 was forwarded to the city lawyer, and he made a few changes. Unlike the medical proposal, where you opt in, the recreational proposal, you must opt out. Regardless of what other municipalities do, opt in or out, it is their decision. However, at this time, it is my opinion that Memphis should opt out. Therefore, I'm requesting the city council take an up and down vote on ordinance 205. And the other thing I'd like to make clear is, this is not ordinance that, only the ordinance establishes, we don't want dispensaries in the city. That's the only thing it does. It doesn't allow, or say you can't smoke or anything like that, so I just wanted to make that clear. And that's what I want to express, and now it can be, Mr. Mayor, can do it for discussion.
Thank you, Larry. I know you spent a lot of time on it.
I don't know if the chief wants to say.
Chief, did you want to comment on this? You don't have to.
I'll answer any questions. I talked to you about some of my concerns.
Right. Did anybody else want to raise any issues?
My question is why so preemptive?
Why what?
Why so preemptive? They don't expect to be writing any licenses for this for another at least 12 months.
The office staff is already getting inquiries on it, and I think it's so, there's no laws are written, the state hasn't written anything yet, and I think it would behoove us then to wait, opt out of it, and whenever this comes back later on with the state, what they, how they're gonna regulate it and so on, it can always be looked at. I think, and as I said, I think it's best for the city of Memphis. I know many of our surrounding municipalities or townships or whatever have already opted out. I think Richmond just adopted theirs the other night, and unanimously, by the way. So I would like to see this opt out, and then if it wants to be visited later on, when the state has set up all the procedures and so on, if the council at that time, whoever's on council, wants to bring it back, they can bring it back. I just think it's best for the city of Memphis. We're small, 1,200 people, and I just think it's best for the city. That's my personal opinion. I know each has their own opinion, so, but that's my opinion.
And I was just like, and the other thing I was looking at was the 15% to municipalities. Isn't it actually 30? It's 15 for roads,
No, I
15
took
for
that,
schools.
no, I took that out of the MML, a report from MML. That's what I took out.
Okay, the way I read it, it was supposed to be 15 for schools, 15 for roads.
No, they have, no, that's.
That was a ballot line,
That-
wasn't it?
That's for
Yeah,
the,
that's what the
and that's
ballot-
not for the town. That is for the state as a whole. That's
It's-
not for this city, or that's not for here.
It's a percentage goes towards municipalities who allow it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, is it that allow it or that actually have an up and running business? 'Cause I mean, by saying we allow it doesn't mean one's gonna move in or anything, you know what I mean? You can allow anything, doesn't mean that we're gonna have that business show up tomorrow.
Oh, well, no, they can't.
I'd like a lucky state.
They can't even show up tomorrow because the state, the state's even got problem with their medical marijuana. They closed dozens in the city of Detroit already because they're not licensed, and that was put in place 4 years ago. So.
Right,
you
we're
know,
talking about licensing, people that are actually going.
So even here, nobody could come into this city, even if we, you have to opt out, by the way, or if you don't do anything, you're automatically in. So, but they couldn't come in here anyway because there's no state regulations yet.
Right.
So that
No
ain't,
licensing.
and that isn't gonna happen till I say at least 2020.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, so, but when you say the 15%, that's for the state as a whole. That isn't for the city, our city.
Oh, all right, I understand that.
Okay.
No,
And
I was
that-
just,
Yeah, so,
it just seems like we don't even know what it's gonna do, or we're writing laws
Well, and
on
that's
something that we
where
don't
my,
even know
my
about.
opinion is that, we opt out for now. Let the state and other municipalities go ahead and hammer out the details and see where it goes, rather than us to try and spend the time with, with our council trying to develop.
Or ending up in
different
court,
ordinance.
as Larry said, right, or ending up
You
in
know,
court,
it's
right?
one of those, let everybody else hammer it out and look at it and come up with some guidelines that we may wanna follow or may not wanna follow, but in the meantime, I think it's probably in our best interest to opt out.
No. In the future, what could be looked at actually would be
We
like.
could turn around and opt
make
back
it-
in and we could
'cause you
develop our
can-
own ordinance.
You can make the stipulations pretty hard. You could say that if a business wanted to come in, it could be a Memphis city sales tax that we could impose. There could be a $5,000 a year fee that we could impose on that business just for allowing them to operate in town.
Right.
We can require them to have 24/7 security. We can require
You
them.
can make them pay a city tax just to have a business,
Sure.
isn't that kind of discrimination?
No, Detroit does. You ever work in Detroit?
Yeah, I know there's a city tax down there.
Same thing.
Is there a city tax for anybody in
I-
Memphis?
No, I did all that.
No, not
And
now.
then the other thing is you
But you do
can
need
make
just for
them
that.
carry
Just,
a multi-million-dollar policy on their business, which basically what I'm saying is make it so that it's very unlikely a business is gonna move
And
into
you know
this
what, I'm
town.
not
But yet
against that. But
rewards.
like I said, it's one of those, right now, do we wanna take the time and the resources to develop an ordinance for allowing it to, spend this time, our attorney fees, and our limited resources on developing something to allow it, and then you know what, you're gonna see a few people that are gonna go, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll come to Memphis and do it, and I'll pay the fees. Maybe, maybe not, but do we wanna spend the time and the resources to do this now?
I don't think we do, and I think we should just opt out. You look at it, or the state gets their regulations in place, and other cities or whatever, and because I think you'll look at it down the road, and that could be a couple of years from now or whatever. But I think you should vote on how you feel. That's.
I'm trying to look at it from both sides. What I was saying is you could over-regulate it to the point that that business is not gonna move into this town, yet still be a part of the state tax program. We allow it, there's not one here. I just don't know how that whole tax thing's gonna work.
And
Do you actually have to have the business in town, or is it just by saying you allow it that you get part of those tax monies?
Well, again, it's.
You can allow it.
I mean, the state's still hammering out the details on their own law.
Yeah,
Exactly, that's why,
You know,
why would we
it's
be
one of those, we'd
preempted
be
when we
flying
don't
into
even know what it was?
something, yeah, I think we'd be flying into something blind,
Well, we're not, I mean.
well, yeah, it's.
Well, I will say this,
premature, I
it's
guess.
kind of a catch-22 in the fact that if somebody did buy one of the buildings on Main Street here with that idea, and we did not have something in place prior to that, it could be a problem.
Do they have
No.
a license?
I know, but if they bought the building thinking that they were going to do it and we had not done anything about it,
In other words, if we don't.
we could be caught.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have questions too. I know it says 10%, but there's a 6% sales tax, so is it actually 16%? Or is there no 6% on that 10%?
No, there is a 6% sales tax and.
But that's separate,
commission.
right?
Yeah, it's separate, yeah. But, see, I think some of this was put in place by outside sources or the
No doubt about
individuals
that.
who want it.
Yeah.
And therefore, they don't want to tax themselves, so they put it at 10%.
I will say this.
So.
Before it was even on the ballot, I was talking to people from all over the place wanting to know what we were gonna do about it. I don't know why they're calling here, maybe they just looked and saw Memphis was a city or whatever it was, I don't know. I mean, I had people from Arizona calling here, I had people from California calling here, Florida. I know Donna took most of the calls and then gave it to me, and then I, called the people back and they were like, oh, you guys don't have any rules against marijuana yet.
Do they have growers?
I don't know, it didn't really get that far.
I know that's been a huge thing
Right.
in a lot of these townships.
So, I mean, I don't know why, maybe it's because we're on a state highway or whatever too, and, we're not that far from the metro area. But there is definitely interest, but who knows what, it's like speculators in the gold rush or something, you know, as the way I looked at it.
I mean, I just haven't really looked into it all that much as far as, you know, evidence of how any of this stuff works, you know what I mean? I really don't know.
Well, I spent a lot of time on it and read every article I could find. And as you know, I've got a lot of.
But,
In the newspaper?
but Larry,
Everything
you're
I could
looking,
find, except on the computer.
but Larry, you are looking at it already as someone who's already against it. You know, it's
Well-
not an objective,
All right.
you know, I mean,
Well, I'm looking at it from what is best for the city of Memphis right at this time. Whether it's best in the future, that's something we can look at down the road. But I'm thinking that for the city of Memphis, right at this time, that it's best to opt out, wait till everything gets in place. If it looks like it's, would be a good thing, then do it. And, but.
Nobody doubts that, Larry.
But,
Nobody doubts that for a second.
no, I don't doubt that, I just,
yeah,
you know, I find myself doing it a lot of times when I'm looking for something to back my opinion, you know what I mean? It's just.
did you want to say
work.
something?
Yeah, well, I can, a few little things. Big thing, when I worked at Fraser in the police department when they did the medical marijuana, it was jammed down everybody's throat. There were no rules. Big part is there was no rules, and it was horrible. We would get tips on drug houses, go there, and because of HIPAA laws, you couldn't find out that the guy was using drugs.
Okay.
I have read the same thing that somebody brought up about, because Michigan, it is legal, people are gonna come from other states, and in some other states, that has caused more crime rates, because people are coming from other states to buy these businesses to sell, because they can't do it in their own states. So it's not necessarily the citizens of that state are doing it, it's people coming from the outside. Also, I read something that never, and this makes sense to me, never in the history that we know of, I think all of us, has there anything been completely illegal and it turns completely legal? I know with Prohibition there was that, but originally it was legal. So my argument on that is, let's wait till these licenses are available in 2020 or 2021, see what everybody else does, see what kind of struggles there's gonna be, because there is. Because the last thing you wanna do is say, yeah, we're gonna allow it, or yes, we're gonna entertain it. Somebody comes in, takes a business, expects it to work, and then sues us because they were under the impression, and now whether they win or not, it doesn't matter, we don't wanna go. So all I say is, let's wait till the licensing is approved by the state and all the wording is done, because as far as I'm concerned, they screwed up the medical marijuana law. That they should, the state for some reason messed that up. They may do this one right, because they've got a year to do it, but I would like to see the city just wait, because at that time, again, you may have a new council. If things are good, I'm not gonna be against it. It's legal now. Federally, it's not legal, but the federal government has already said they're not gonna pursue charges. So I'd like to see them have their set rules on it before I would like to see us opt out of it until they have the federal rules written and licenses are started, and let other cities go through the pain in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything to say about it?
I would like to honestly table it just so there's more research, but I mean, if it's something that can be revisited another time, we'd just be beating a dead horse,
You would be.
you know, so.
4 seats on this board, you can pretty much do anything you want in this town, so, you know, per 4 votes, I should say, you know what I'm saying, so. I think it'll save us a lot of lawyer time right now for over the next year anyways.
Yeah, I just think just think it's best for the city of Memphis this time, but by all means, vote your conscience.
Yeah, and I can use just a simple, for instance, is one of those, when I first got on planning, we were developing a condominium ordinance because somebody wanted to put condominiums in. And we went through probably better than a year process, developing a condominium ordinance to allow somebody to build condos. And then they basically said, nah, we're not gonna do it. I mean, it was a change in the economy, but it was a year's worth of time spent that, to me, it was like, okay, here we go, we spent it, we accommodated, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So here, kind of like, you know what, let somebody else do the legwork in front of us without spending the time with this committee, without the attorney being involved and spending the time writing the ordinance before the state's got everything well defined.
Kind of like we just did with the G5,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
governments.
Can I make the motion then?
Well, I just don't have enough information on this. That's my whole thing, so I don't really know.
Then don't vote for it.
Don't vote at all?
No, I am
I'm neither for or against.
I am gonna make the motion. And then it can be voted up or down. So, motion to introduce ordinance 205 prohibiting marijuana establishments.
You vote present.
Second.
No, I think you have to vote up and down. I don't think you can vote for it. That's what Liz said.
No?
It's just an introduction, isn't it? Those have to be read at two councils or? No?
This is the introduction.
Yeah.
So next week will be, or next time, adoption. Okay, Wilson,
Yes.
Zukas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
No.
Stoops.
Yes.
Okay, I got Wilson, Zukas, Martyr, Riley, Schneider, Stoops, yes, Sofa, no, so motion carried.
Larry, I know you spent a lot of time on it, thank you. Advisory Committee, new health insurance agents.
Yeah, this has been kind of an issue for some time, and it's been requested that we change our agents, and so the advisory committee kind of recommends that we do change it. I don't know if there's somebody wants to discuss it. I don't know, Bart, if you had anything on that, if you wanted, on this issue on changing agents?
And this covers all the
No,
employees, right?
I-
This
I
will cover
would-
all of our
All
employees.
employees.
Right.
I'd like to see a change.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much right, okay.
And the agents suggested is the Heritage agencies. But I don't know, is there any other questions on this?
Who's in office?
Second on.
Generally, we do everything via phone or internet anyway, so.
Did somebody from Heritage, did they come and talk to you guys? Okay. They answer the phone?
That's who we used to.
Stuff like that, right? Oh,
Okay, they answered,
Yeah.
and you heard them out.
any questions?
Okay, I make a motion then to change our health insurance agent to
Support.
Zukas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
CDBG funding. That's you too, Larry?
Yes, actually, I should have put the date on there on your memo, and I didn't. But the date is February the 5th, 2019, and it will have to be advertised 15 days prior to that, so you took care of that, Don. So I made a motion that we schedule a date for the public hearing for the allocation of 2019 CBG funds on February the 5th, 2019.
Support.
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Zukas.
Yes.
Okay, Larry, the life insurance for employees 65 and older.
Okay, this is something that we spend time on too. This here is, we weren't aware of this at all until Bart reached age 65.
Happy birthday, huh?
Yeah, and it created some problems. And so you shouldn't have reached 65, Bart.
I guess the alternative was,
Anyway, what it is, we have in our policy that all our employees have insurance or life insurance, as term insurance, while they're employed, up to $25,000. Well, when Bart reached 65, we got notification then that he is, and if you look at the sheet at the back, it's got it all listed there. And it's reduced by about 35%, so it goes down to 65. Then at 70, it reduces further and so on and so on. So I called I called two, and I think I had Leslie call Hartford, because that's the one we have. And I called State Farm, Farmers, and so on, and we could buy just a term life insurance for $10,000 on someone that's 65. And they said, no, you can't. You could buy whole life. And if you look at the schedule I got in whole life, and I did have State Farm both on smoker and non-smoker, but somehow I penciled it down, so I had a non-smoker was less, but I didn't have figures. But and you look at Farmers there and what it was, and over a 5-year period, it'd be $8,100 for a smoker, but non-smokers is less. So this is our options, our choices. You could go to a whole life policy, or you could buy the current term life insurance as is and that's it, or you could self-insure. Now, in business, I've been here for years and years, but small companies can't take the risk of self-insuring because it could be too detrimental to their economic health. Large companies do self-insure a lot of times. So I got a hold of Gold Life Insurance, and I had Bart call them because they have term insurance, and and it goes to 65, 70, and so on. And for a 5-year period, for a $10,000 premium, it'd be $370, which Bart would have to take out. Bart's already contacted, I understand, right?
Yeah.
And so, but since we always pay for the life insurance, I'm suggesting then that we reimburse him for the coverage, because we do pay the premium on $25,000 life insurance.
So it'd be $370 a year.
Yeah.
But the rate stays the same for 5 years.
Right.
And he's fully covered.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then
That way
you
we're
pick
picking up the slack for the
Right.
change in the policy.
And so then we just reimburse him for that, but he has to take it out himself.
Right.
And which he's agreed to do. And,
Yeah.
and so,
Just as long as that check, if it's made out to me, I don't want it to come out of payroll,
well.
because
Well, I
we
think-
know how that's been working.
Well, I think this is a little different than the health insurance.
Yeah.
I think we could probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think,
I don't know, because life insurance comes out of payroll, all insurances do.
yeah, well, it does.
Comes out of what,
but
Donna?
you still- It does, but I don't
All
think,
insurances do.
yeah, it comes out of the payroll, but I'll check with the auditor, our auditors or.
I mean, if it's gonna work that way, I don't want to, because I don't want my taxes to keep going up, I end up in a different tax bracket.
Well, 300.
That might kill me, Larry.
Well, we don't want that to happen. But anyway, we'll look at that. But, and then this is only while he's employed too.
Right.
Now, he could elect to keep it on afterwards, but that's up to him.
I can go part-time.
As long as he's employed.
Yeah, it seems
So-
like the longer you live, they keep knocking down the benefit payout.
I don't understand that.
And the cost of funerals goes up, so
Yeah.
it really just works
Well-
against you all the way around.
At 88, I can't
You
even
don't
buy
think you're
insurance.
gonna be working.
Anyway, so that's what I'm recommending. So I made, that's one part of this here. And there's a second part that I'll address later, okay? So is there any questions or anything on that?
Go ahead, Larry.
All right. You don't have to copy this, I'll give it to you. So, okay. I make a motion then to approve term life insurance policy in the amount of $10,000 from Globe Life Insurance Company with a premium of $370 per year to be reimbursed to the employee while he's employed by the city of Memphis.
Support.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Zupas?
Yes.
Martyr?
Yes.
So I know, so we need to change our employee policy handbook?
This is the second thing I wanted to
All right,
address.
so we're gonna do it right now?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that next. Okay, now what are, and since our, both administrative and non-affiliated, we have a policy in place now, and it states at $25,000. What I would like to do on that is anyone hired after January the 2nd, 2019, which is today, will be covered under our current term life insurance policy that reduces benefits at 65. And that's what I'd like to do to our current.
Are you still gonna have that kind of policy if you change insurance carrier?
We're not
This-
changing.
this- This is different. This is life insurance. This is not health insurance.
Oh.
So that don't matter on that. Okay, so that's what I'd like to do is, so anyone hired after this date, then they'll abide by our current terms.
We're aware of it at this
Yeah,
time,
just say now
so
you're aware of it, and anybody hiring in now will be aware of
Yeah.
it. You know, this one kind of hit us by surprise, so.
So is everyone on board with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, can I make a mayor?
You certainly can, Larry.
Okay. Motion to make changes to the administrative and non-affiliated employment policy of anyone hired after January 2nd, 2019 will be under our current term life insurance, which reduces benefits at age 65.
Support.
And you can have that,
Yeah.
okay?
Schneider?
Yes.
Sofa?
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Zupas?
Yes.
Martyr?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
you don't have to put the other ages in there, right? It's every 5 years it drops. I mean, just saying that,
I'm
that's.
gonna include that, I'm gonna include this, in that policy, the schedule right here.
Oh, you
I
have, okay,
include
got it,
that
okay, you have a
in my
schedule.
when we change the policy, okay?
Yeah.
So if he's still working at 70, it'll be more than a $10,000 policy.
Well, this here, they abide by this, so it'll be 25 and it'll just automatically reduce. We won't have to do anything else like a 10,000, only on current employees if they would, or.
Yeah, she's asking when Bart hits
Yeah, when
something.
Bart turns 70.
When I hit 70, I'm still just skipping and a half of it. Yeah.
It won't be,
Um,
yeah, it'll be.
It's
going
gonna drop down to $11,000.
So does he?
So I
have
get another,
15,000? Higher.
Well, you
$10,000
can-
policy or?
And then you can increase it another 5.
That'd be a nice question to ask. maybe.
No, you can increase, because how I know about this, my son's
Right.
covered under, it. That's how I know
Yeah,
about it.
okay.
Yeah,
So you can,
Yeah, so, yeah, you can. The premium was up a little bit, but not really that
Right.
much.
He'll be back in 5 years.
Okay,
late, but I,
BMJ Engineers Annual Agreement.
what annual agreement?
BMJ Engineers.
Well,
Yes,
I think we should
I would,
stay with it because
Stay
they're
with it,
involved
that's
in
fine.
everything else. They're involved in,
the
They're involved
downside
in
is,
mechanic and
we're gonna be
church-
bringing new people in and how much money is that gonna cost us? Just to bring them up?
Bring everybody up to speed, so
Yeah.
stick with BMJ is what your suggestion is.
well, see, they're involved right now in mechanic and Church Street.
Sure,
We're
yeah.
still gonna see that fruition hopefully this year. They've also done a lot of the engineering work on Boardman.
Yep.
From M19.
All Boardman.
Gold Street to M19. Plus, they've done some preliminary work on the rest of it as well.
But that's our property, right? All the work they've done in the past?
From my understanding from other engineering firms that I've talked to, yes.
I'm not gonna fight you on it, I just wanted you to say that you think it's the right thing to do, right?
I would say it's the right thing to do
Good enough for me?
for the city.
Anybody else have any questions about this? Go ahead, Larry.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the annual agreement between the city of Memphis and DM Engineers for the year 2019.
Support.
Sofa?
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Zupas?
Yes.
Martyr?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes. From the mayor, hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year. I will say that the Lions are having a wine tasting on the 19th. If anybody's interested in tickets, call the city office and they'll get you in touch with whoever you need to talk to about that. Or get a hold of Sue Quigley from the Lions Club. And That's all I have. Kurt?
Nothing for me.
Larry?
I think I've said enough tonight.
No argument.
Go ahead.
Ken? Robbie?
Do you need somebody to stand in for the Parks and Rec? Are you gonna set something up for that, or?
I'm gonna talk to Dave after the meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
nominate Ken to do it.
Oh. Okay.
He's pretty level-headed and not any involved in it at all.
Call me flathead, or is that what
Yeah, same thing.
Square, flat.
Other than that, I'm
Nothing.
Jason?
Well, just Happy New Year, and I look forward to working with all you guys in 2019. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.